Stay frosty and check out redzonecoins.com for the cheapest, fastest coins on the market. Use code DIRECTOR at checkout for 10% off. Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the Director. All right, Madden fans, we got ourselves a rookie dissection video. You know, these ratings came out, yesterday and the day before, and really we only have the quarterback and the wide receiver, and I wasn't going to do a video covering this because I thought it was, it's there, you guys can take a look at it, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it, and specifically, what I thought was going to happen with these ratings, and maybe what these ratings are going to look like in Madden 21 Ultimate Team. What quarterbacks I'm throwing down on, putting the chips on some of these guys as to who's going to get upgrades, more frequently and maybe to the highest point, at some point leading up to the NFL honors and stuff like that. So I think it'll be good. Some of these ratings were a bit shocking. I did see a few of them. It's been a really busy weekend, so I actually really haven't seen very many of them. So let's go through it for the first time together, kind of give the thoughts on this and see, who I'm putting my chips on and what I was thinking initially before the game came out. Before we start, guys, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps out a lot. Let's get into this video. All right, boys. All right, let's start with quarterback, because this is the first one that came out. It was a couple of days ago. I kind of glanced at it, but again, we're busy. We had other stuff going on. Starting with Joe Burrow. Now, I thought, you're looking at a 76 right now. I thought Joe Burrow would probably be a 78. But, I really should have gone back and looked at the other quarterbacks from last year, kind of see, is this class as strong as the other classes we've seen previously? I know next year's is going to be absolutely insane, but Joe Burrow is 76 overall, maybe a little bit lower than what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe a 78. Honestly, if we're just going to go through this real quick, I thought Joe Burrow would be a 78. I thought Tua Tagovailoa, unless the injury rating counts for 20% of the overall here, I thought he should have been at least a 76. Any other year, Tua would probably have been the highest rated quarterback, and it would have been, in my opinion, almost in the low 80s, you know what I mean? 79, 80, something like that. But 73 with the injury, I understand there's some concerns, but still, I think the talent is there. 73 seems really, really low for me. But the biggest shocker for me was right here. Obviously, I'm a Chargers fan. I like the Justin Herbert. Jordan Love, actually, I'm pretty high on as well. Been watching him too. I was really shocked to see Jordan Love get a higher rating than Justin Herbert, but I was also shocked to see the actual ratings both these guys got. Now, I'm not going to be, unrealistic. I know that there was a bit of a drop off after Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa, so I did expect Justin Herbert to maybe pick up a 72, maybe a 73 tops. 70 though? Ooh, that one was a bit of a gut punch, dudes. I was sitting I'm going to be using Justin Herbert in franchise mode all year long. That's going to be the starting point for the most part. And, Justin Herbert, he's going to be perhaps thrusted into the starting role at some point this year, but more than likely it's going to be Tyrod Taylor. Now, that could be coach speak. We've got a veteran in here. We want to win games. We're going to put in Tyrod Taylor, when in reality, they probably want to put in Justin Herbert. And honestly, the more I think about it, I need to do another Chargers video on this. The more I think about it, Justin Herbert has had a crap ton of playing time in college. When you talk about the most NFL ready, when you're talking about just strictly how much time he's had as a starter, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think more and more maybe Justin Herbert should get the start right away. And it's a bit controversial. Some guys really like Tyrod Taylor and believe in him. I do believe in him. I think he's going to be serviceable, especially with how good the defense is and stuff like that. But I also think Justin Herbert is a bit of a different rookie. He really did play longer than most guys do. So you really do have a good idea of what his strengths and weaknesses are. And you can really start attacking those even in-game if you have to. Giving him in-game experience can be very, very valuable. So anyway, I digress. My point here is that Justin Herbert, I was hoping to be at least a 72. And then Jordan Love, I was thinking maybe a 70. Because Jordan Love, he's more of a wild card. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. His inconsistencies were so dramatic, but it also had to do a lot with his team. His teammates, his receivers, his weapons and stuff out in Utah State were also super, super unreliable. So I get it. I understand the rating here, but at the same time, a bit of a gut check. All of these are a little bit lower than I had expected. And who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe, everything to this year has been tuned a little bit differently than what we're used to. The next up, we have Jalen Hertz at a 68. I feel like that's pretty fair. Maybe I was a little bit higher on Jacob Eason, honestly, but, Jalen Hertz at a 68 overall with 86 speed. I think that'll be interesting. I don't know what the Eagles are going to do with him. You know, you guys have Carson Wentz. And granted, maybe this was, you know, picking up some Carson Wentz insurance, because Carson Wentz definitely doesn't stay healthy every single year. And having somebody learn behind him, maybe they decide to go in the Jalen Hertz direction later. Maybe he's more of just a backup. That's where I would put my money, is maybe Jalen Hertz is more of a high-quality backup than he is a potential starter in the future. But that's just me. Carson Wentz is special. He's a really good quarterback. So the thought of, you know, already picking up his replacement seems a little unlikely to me. Jacob Eason at 63. And then some of these other guys, Jake Fromm, Cole McDonald, James Morgan, you know, these guys are your backups, maybe even trying to make the roster kind of guys. Other guys that I liked that were maybe a little bit, you know, deep in the draft. I liked Anthony Gordon a little bit. Definitely Cole McDonald. Tyler Huntley was all right out of Utah. You know, there's some guys in here that are just fighting for a backup position, but the main guys up here, where am I putting my chips? So you also have to look at the situation for these quarterbacks when you're talking about who's going to get upgrades, who's going to be the best, you know, the guys to invest in, you know, maybe in franchise or maybe in ultimate team. Obviously, a lot of these guys, too, as we go through these lists in the future, are going to have rookie premieres. We've seen that, you know, in Madden 20. Joe Burrow obviously is probably in the best situation right now, being the unquestioned number one. Tua Tagovailoa, he could be if his injury wasn't a concern. Jordan Love's got Aaron Rodgers in front of him, and Justin Herbert. From the rumors we're hearing at Chargers, you know, HQ, we don't know what's going on. If I were putting my money on it, I would say it would be Tyrod Taylor, but I don't excuse the possibility that it could be Justin Herbert. So Joe Burrow obviously is going to be the guy, as far as the quarterbacks are going, who's got the best chance to get upgrades through the year, and that's why he got a rookie premier card. But I would say number 2 on this list, it's probably Justin Herbert. That's going to have the most likely scenario to upgrade really, really quickly, depending on how he does. And this is more about opportunity than it is talent at this face value. So opportunity for Justin Herbert, I do see a possibility of him starting right away, whereas I'd see like zero possibility for Tua or Love. I would love Tua to start right away, but his injury is just too risky. You don't put a guy out in the field like that if he just suffered something so random, so, you know, unlikely, something that we're not really sure of, we don't have a lot of science on. And then Jordan Love's got, you know, Aaron Rodgers in front of him, so there's really no way he's going to start. And the same can be said for everybody else here on the list. Jacob Eason could definitely develop into something really cool, you know, next year after Phillip Rivers is done. He's going to be learning from one of the best in the league, so that's really, really cool. And then everybody else I kind of see as backups. So as far as who I think may get upgrades in Madden 21 Ultimate Team, I'm going to go Joe Burrow, then Justin Herbert. Tua could definitely start sometime in the middle or late of the season, depending on how they feel about his injury. And then Jordan Love's probably a couple years down the road. Let's take a look at the wide receivers. Now, this one's a little simpler for me just because, you know, it's really like the wide receiver class here is really deep. So anything could happen. You know, anybody could blow off. You know, anybody could blow up, I should say. And it just depends on the situation they're on with their teams. Now, Henry Ruggs, 76 overall, the highest in the class. That's to be expected just because of how fast he is. 98 speed at the beginning of the game is insane. Even his rookie cards, the guys that you see in Madden Ultimate Team, he's probably going to be like 88, 89 speed to start the year. He's going to be one of the better rookie pickups for the start of the season. So Raiders fans get excited. That's a pretty good pickup for you guys. CeeDee Lamb at a 75 overall with 90 speed is definitely pretty good too. He'll probably be in the 85, 84 speed range in Madden Ultimate Team. And CeeDee Lamb is interesting because his situation is almost too good in a way where there might not be enough opportunity because of all the pass catchers you have out there in Dallas already. You know what I mean? With Amari Cooper being the number 1, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, you know, he may start the year as a number 3. So it's interesting. They have so many weapons out there, but hey, maybe that'll, you know, take some coverage off of CeeDee Lamb and he absolutely blows up. So Jerry Jeudy next up with the Broncos, 75 overall. And I was a little bit shocked. I thought, honestly, Lamb or Jeudy would be the number 1 here. But in Madden speak, in Madden ratings, I think speed does speak more than other attributes on the cards and on the players. So I can see why Henry Ruggs is on the top. But Jerry Jeudy with the Broncos, I think he'll have a decent year. Who does he have to work with there? I mean, Cortland Sutton, you can consider Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay as kind of receiving backs as well. And then like Noah Fant and those guys too. So I don't know. I think Jerry Jeudy has one of the better chances to succeed. Henry Ruggs definitely. Their wide receivers are good, you know, but Darren Waller is probably their number 1 right now. So, and at tight end. So I think Henry Ruggs definitely has a good shot at it. I just wasn't as high on him as I was CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy as far as, you know, just the consistency of everything. But I don't know, man. I think Henry Ruggs could definitely blow up this year. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. They got rid of, what's his name? Stephon. And I feel like, what's his other name? Adam Thielen has a pretty good grip on the number 1 there, but maybe Justin Jefferson does step up. I don't know, man. I think it's definitely a possibility. Jalen Reagor, you know, wide receiver for the Eagles. He's definitely pretty good too. I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity there. Their wide receivers always get hurt. 91, 91, 93 speed on the wide receivers. Brandon Ayuk, Laviska Shenault. These guys are more of wild cards. If I were to pick a few out of the dozen here as far as who I like, with their situations, who make it good cards, because there's always guys like Terry McLaurin that, you know, pop up every single year. If I'm putting my chips down, I would say Henry Ruggs has a decent year. CeeDee Lamb has a decent year. Jerry Jeudy has probably a good year. Justin Jefferson has a decent year. Jalen Reagor, I'm actually hoping he has a good year. I think he could definitely do it. Ayuk, I don't know. They do have some weapons out there, but I think people are getting hurt, so I'm going to say good year. They're going to have to lean on him a little bit more. Laviska Shenault, they got DJ Chark out there, right? So I'm going to say good year. Devin Duvernay, good year, maybe. I don't know. They don't have as many weapons as other teams, especially for somebody who's so lethal, you know, with their quarterback. So I'm going to say good year. Michael Pittman, I think he's my guy this year, you know, with the Colts. I think this is the guy that's going to break out. You know, he wasn't the highest pick, but I think he's going to surprise some people. He's got Phillip Rivers out there, who's definitely a really good, you know, quarterback, especially for, you know, guys coming in that need somebody reliable. He's really, really good. T. Higgins, if he can, you know, develop at the same time as Joe Burrow, could be pretty good. And then Denzel Mims definitely is okay. Chase Claypool, maybe. Everybody else is kind of a maybe for me. The deeper threats here, I don't know, man. I think that's it for me. So I'm going to put my chips on Michael Pittman as the guy that develops probably the most this year, and that's probably it. But as far as my reactions here, the wide receivers were more as expected, but the quarterbacks definitely threw me off a little bit. But what do you guys think in the comment section below? Were these ratings kind of what you thought they were going to be? Do you think, you know, some of them are more, maybe less? And what do you guys think about the rest of the positions? I know the rest of them are coming out sometime next week, and we'll definitely do kind of a deep dive in all those positions and stuff like that. But that's kind of my first impressions with what we've got. Quarterback, wide receiver. Ooh, really quickly, actually, I want to take a look at the Chargers rookie wide receivers, because we did draft 2. Joe Reed at 67 overall with 90 speed. That's actually not bad. I thought it might be a little bit worse, but that's actually not bad. 90 speed at 67 overall is pretty good. KJ Hill at 64 overall with 86 speed. Also as expected, he's not a fast guy, but he's definitely a lethal route runner, and he's got really, really secure hands. So I don't know, man. I like it. KJ Hamler also is a guy I feel like could go off too. He's really, really fast, 94 speed, but you never know. Well, guys, thank you again so much for joining me. Leave your comments in the comment section below. We'll see you next time, and as always, stay frosty.